It's coming. It's coming. Good morning, beautiful people. Good morning. Good morning. I will never get nobody name up. They was like, is that a wig? What was that? I said, I don't know. I don't do hair. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna say the other women that was in there. Some that at the merriment, they was laughing at the gym with me this morning and said, "We know you gonna put them hairstyles." I said, "I am." So I know because we got 130. I said, "I am." I'm gonna put it up there. Now one downvote is Liddell or Candace. I'm not messing with it.
Rock.
But look who they said that was Crockett. You got Stephen A. Smith attacking her now. Jasmine Crockett.
Been attacking our whole national show. It ain't nothing new with him. He's the fastest racer. He all that. He let you know who he is. He ain't holding them up.
But he black.
Stephen Miller ain't.
No, Stephen A. Smith.
Oh man.
I'm talking about Stephen A. Smith. You ain't see how they said I said y'all wrong. Y'all wrong. I mean, listen, hey. Some laugh with you, some laugh at you. They laughed at me plenty of times. I laughing too, shit. But hey, it is what it is. But boy, we was rolling. They was like, you gonna put them pictures up? I said, I am. She the one brought up content. She said, oh, they trying to use stuff for content. I said, well, she gave it to me. But this what I had wanted to say. I was watching one guy. I was looking for his video. And he was talking about, like in Chicago when they raided the hotel. And I get both sides, not the hotel, the apartment complex. But, and as he was breaking it down, and it was like what they doing is, what they not telling people is, and it's bad on both sides, but these was the ones that the Democrats had when they took them to Martha's Vineyard and everything.
Yeah.
What's up?
I can't. I just can't fathom that, right? Like, I'm still stuck on, you touch my kids, I'm touching you. It's that serious. And the fact that he's just letting this man skate by, but a dude who does something peaceful, that rallies the community to do something peaceful, right? How often do we see people today get groups of people together, rile them up, and go set them loose? Jed gathered a group of people, got them focused, and did something productive, and he's the fucking monster? This is some bull.
Let me throw my, I ain't got my stunner shades on. I'm gonna come in with some stunner shades on. You heard? Good morning, people. Good morning, beautiful people. Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing this lovely, cold, but sunny Friday morning? Common sense, what it do, family, what it do? Cassandra, Scott, good morning. Concrete Jungle, good morning. The lovely Deborah Luna in the building. Cicero, what it do? H. Spragg, good morning. Meat Freaks Barbecue is in the building, and we got the lovely Wanda Smith. And y'all see who done just tapped in this morning? The one that missed every day but the right day because it's a Friday. You heard Winters is in the building. Kenneth, good morning. Good morning. Kenneth Thornton, thank you for tapping in. Pastor Nicholas J. Gaddis in the building. The lovely Sandra Nichols Martin. Felicia Martinez. We got the lovely Beverly Biggs Levy in the building. And y'all know it's $5 Friday, too. Should I have to put it up again and remind you what time it is? And we love y'all. Because it's this time of the day, I will just put it up there for y'all. Ashley Gaddis, shout out to my Gaddis clan. Denise Cousins, good morning. Elder Golden Child Sharp, Georgia Boy, top of the morning. The way of Jesus Christ through faith. Good morning. What it do, family? What it do? What it do? Constance, thank you for tapping in on this lovely morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Family, we here. Y'all see we got the family. Yogi G from the 202 that came. Well, y'all know she's always on this morning. But shout out to Yogi G.
Word.
Shout out to Yogi G.
Otis is in the studio. That means we got sound effects on deck.
Effects today. Allie Nicole Gaddis Rivers. Omar, good morning. Good morning. And the lovely Terry Nixon. We here. We back on today, Friday. Pop Gaddis. Even though it's Friday, it's a $5 Friday. It's Friday. So let's get this thing. What y'all got for us? What y'all want? Yogi coming with some of the DC understanding because we don't know DC politics. All we know is we get worked. Shout out to the real Casey. Thank you for tapping in. And the lovely Deborah Luna with the $5 Friday on a $5 Friday, not a Thursday. You heard?
Strong.
Yeah, for sure. Good morning, everybody. We back on it. Y'all, listen, y'all let us know what y'all want to talk about. We can get to it, baby. You know, Yogi G is what we call our expert on DC right now because that's how we got to get it. We got to get it from Yogi and Anna. And right now, Yogi's up on deck. You know, when they talking about on baseball, you up on deck. Bring it on home. Bring it home. Andre,
first of all,
good morning.
I don't know if you would call me the expert, but I am a bit of a ghetto scholar just trying to figure out what's happening in these 202 streets because I don't think I like it. We got a lot of people jumping ship, and I don't understand why. Well, I got some couple of thoughts. You know, I keep my tinfoil hat strapped and ready to rock. But man, it's a doggy dog world out here for us here in these capital streets. So I don't know if you're ready to get into it, but we still got a word. So listen, good people, I always like to say good morning to the chat of the A10 family coming to you live from the 202. And if you don't know why the 202 is on A10, man, where you been at? I'll explain it shortly, but there are some rules to engagement for this Good Friday, just in case you don't know. Well, I don't know why you wouldn't. First and foremost, let's address the elephant in the room. You heard the man with the plan. It is $5 Friday. That's all we asking for, just a little $5. That means that maybe you might not get that McDonald's sandwich. I don't know if y'all got 7-Elevens over there where you at, Mick, but maybe you don't go give your money to 7-Eleven today. We need the man with the plan to be able to do what he needs to do to make sure that you get the news that you can use. So don't be selfish and don't be shy. Hit that $5 and make it rock. You can do it in Cash App or you can do it in Super Sticker. I think Mick would prefer Cash App, but who am I to say? Now that we got that out the way, the second part of it is make sure you smash that like button because we know you in the chat. We know you're watching, so you might as well make it worth our while and yours too. Because we love the like button or maybe the dislike. I know how y'all do. So, you know, a thumbs up we prefer. But if a thumbs down is where you're heading, we can't change your mind. And then third it all, in case I lost count, but I think I'm on 3. I might be still sleeping. But make sure you share. And then number 4, subscribe. Share and subscribe. Because how are we going to get the good news and the message of all this hard work for A10 News Media Group if the people don't know we here? All right. Now, if we got all of those instructions out the way, let me talk to you. Man, listen, I came all the way off the Chitlin circuit just to get a little free therapy because I got DC Medicaid, and sometimes you can't find a therapist, so I got to use the good people with the 810 chat. Man, it's rough being in DC right now. Up. You want to say good morning to the people? I know it's a big thing. It's a part of tradition.
It is tradition, but I was going to let you roll. No trouble. Good morning. Blakey Gaddis, good morning. Kobe Fat, that's a.k.a. Elizabeth P. Finney. My bad. Good morning, beautiful fam. The floor is yours.
Word. If you didn't know, DC is the canary in the coal mine when it comes to them testing and rolling things out here. And they can do that because we don't have the same protection as places like Michigan and New York. We don't have a governor. We got a senator. We have someone sitting in the Senate, but she hasn't had any voting power since she's been in there since the 90s. So we pretty much, whatever comes from the Capitol goes down in Capital City. And so right now we've had people who have been in our leadership. You know, you've heard me talk about, maybe not lovingly, our mayor, honest mayor, King Bow Bow, Muriel Bowser, who has been there since 2015, and suddenly she's gone. We got a couple of announcements. Go ahead, Mick.
Yeah, we got Kobe Fatty with the $5 super chat, Kenneth Thornton with the $5 super chat, and we just got a sponsor, and you're gonna like this. Mickey's Roll Call is, and this is coming from the lovely Felicia Martinez, you know, from the East Coast by way of New Jersey. Mickey's Roll Call is sponsored by the residents of St. Paul, Minnesota, for shutting down a council meeting demanding to be heard about ICE raids, council's list, and no one arrested. Meeting resumed. That's a big fact. Good morning, loving me. Thank you for tapping in because we loving you too. The floor is yours.
Yeah, that's word. I got some people in St. Paul, and it's crazy to see what they dealing with. Um, but here in DC, the nation's capital, we have 13 council members, and we have one mayor. We have an ANC commissioner that represents all 8 of our wards. So we got a pretty lofty representation of governance. And as of late, if you heard me and Anna talking about our mayor's leaving, like I said, she's been in there since 2015. So this is a shock to all of us. Like, why are you leaving now? And then we have at least 10 out of the 13 seats that are up for re-election, or either they're not coming. So we have that. And then I just found out on our state board of education, we got 8 seats open. So DC, I don't know about what you heard, Mick, but what they say on the movie too? They said, Molly, you in danger, girl.
This Smith, good morning. Hold on. You got 8 seats open on the school board, right?
8 seats open on the school board.
And you got how many seats open for your districts? What is it, council? Which y'all
we got 10 because we got 4 at-large members. That means that balances out that power hierarchy. So we have 8 members that are for each one of our wards.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have 4 additional to make sure we break up the monotony. Gotcha. So out of the 13 that we have, 10 may or may not be coming back.
So how do you feel about the election? Because in Michigan, what I know here, I know our governor's seat is up. I think the senator seats, I'm not for sure. Well, let me just go with Flint, what I do know. I know the governor's seat is up. I know the council, all 9 council seats are up. The state rep seat is up. And I don't know if I'm for sure on the school board, but we should. What's up, my fellow 740? And so that's where it's at here.
Man, I'll be honest. I'm scared. Like, I don't got to fake it to kick it. Like, it's just so unpredictable, especially in these times when we're dealing with the administration that we have. And it ain't even been a year yet. That's the additional scary part. Like, we got 3 more years to deal with this tyranny. And for us here in the nation's capital, it's just like we already dealing with housing instability. We already dealing with food deserts and food insecurity. We know how they felt about DC. They call out school to prison pipeline factories. So I would say, with all that narrative that's coming out the Thunderdome, I don't think they like us, Mick.
So you think it's kind of, let me see, Michelle Smith, thank you for tapping in. Shadi Shire, good morning. So you kind of like the people here, because it's like, even with me, I know the mayor race is up. I know all the council seats. To me, it's like, and I'll give you an example. And this is a shout out to the councilwoman, Tanya Burns, and a happy belated birthday if I didn't get to come on your page because I'm blocked. But like, from hearing that she might not be running, allegedly she might not be running for her 6th ward, I'm like, damn, who else gonna run? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know her. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I could still like call her. You know what I'm saying? If or I could turn people to her. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, she not running. It's like, damn. So who gonna be over in there? Because in my humble opinion, Tanya did go over and beyond it with the job, but that's how the job is. What's up, my good brother Marcus Fielder in the building from Fairfield, California? Oh man, condolences to you, brother.
Oh, for sure.
Y'all give condolences to the good brother Marcus Fielder from Fairfield, California.
Oh man, love to you, bro.
Hey, nothing but blessings, man. In this time for you and your family, man. Stay strong. I lost my mother. I'm not gonna say it's something gonna be easy, but I'm with you in spirit.
Don't get me started, because then we'll be having a whole nother show.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm never around this time, so the holidays for sure. Yeah.
What's up, Tony Terry in the building? But I'm just saying, I'm kind of lost like that too. Be honest with you.
Well, here's the additional thing that I just found out. As I told you, I find time to be a post-secondary student. Um, but I pay thousands of dollars in possible plantation time just to make sure I bring these things to the forefront of the 810 chat. So what I found out, I don't know if it's good or bad, but I felt trouble about reading this. I didn't even know that in my own city, you only have to be a resident for a year in order
Yeah,
to run for mayor or council.
here too.
And
I guess
then to
that's the
be an
playbook.
ANC commissioner, which is next level, I guess. Because how can you, how much do you know about a city within a year? How much can you learn about the people and the culture that exists and all the things that are wrong or people think are wrong within a year before you start running to be our mayor? That's crazy work. That's
But
crazy
look here,
work.
here they even overlook it. You can get here in 10 months. Nikki, so tricky. Thank you for tapping in, sexy chocolate. I mean, it's crazy. I'm telling you, like I'm sitting there because it's like who like because you got to look at the new people coming in. I remember I got to give a shout out to Winters on this one and family. She would be in the studio live tonight with all the tea. She told me to tell y'all that with all the tea, with all the tea. Good morning, Lawana Terry. Thank you for tapping in, and Teresa. I mean, I remember Winter said this. She said, "Be careful who y'all want." When people was like, "You want," we at the time we wanted Kate Fields out of that 4-4 and got Judy Blackfoot. Good morning, lovely Carolyn Hendricks. I'm saying, but
Well,
go
that's
ahead.
why if people had a chance to check us out, I know, the Chitlin Circuit hours are hard. We be on at 7 p.m. on a Sunday. So I get it if you haven't seen it. But that's why we got the replay gang, gang, gang.
For sure.
Uh, you know, we are now introduced into a new phase of democracy by way of ranked choice voting. And if you have never heard of this, you might want to get familiar with it. You still got a chance because, as far as I knew in the video that we showed on Sunday, the Heritage Foundation is not a big fan of ranked choice voting. And
Facts.
I would suspect that it's because that it gives an opportunity for a lot of independent candidates to be able to be considered on the ballot. But that's not always a good thing, especially in our case here in DC, because one, it does matter to everybody how we hold it down here in the District of Columbia. Because if they can do it here, we're like a bad play on the New York motto: if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. But if it happens in DC, it can happen anywhere. So you want to watch what's going on here in the District of Columbia. And a part of that's happening is we do have ranked choice voting that is coming up. And with all the numbers of open seats that we have in here in DC, it is going to be something to see how the people of the District of Columbia hold the line. Because if we let it go, then we could be overtaken by a lot of Republican representation, or just, I don't even know if it even matters if they're Democrat or Republican at this time. It's just a big space for a lot of Donald Trump's friends to come in and wreak havoc in the nation's capital and hold it down. And
You froze for a second, Yogi. Yeah, sending love and condolences to one of our own family, good brother Marcus Fielder from Fairfield, California.
I think I'm back.
Yeah, you back.
Okay. See, that's how you know they don't want you talking about it.
Well, this what Trevor put up. He says ranked choice is probably the most fair. If you vote third party and they fail horribly, then your vote goes to your second choice. This means your vote is never just wasted. How you feel about that?
Yeah, and that would be great if our community knew more about ranked choice voting. See, what happened was, right, and this is just a word from the squirrel on the street, is that
Right.
a lot of our progressive college students, primarily the Wahite family, have come around DC and they saw some injustices. And so they got together and they said, we want to start, see if we can make a shift. And they caught us at a good time because our mayor was very villainous.
Mm. You froze up again, Yogi. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're back. Countdown. I know what I'm doing.
Y'all better count this day. Listen, if y'all don't see me next Friday, you know what happened. The FBI then came down from the building and they found out I was talking shit. So I'm here. That's y'all know. But what was I saying? Yes. So our community is made up of a lot of senior citizens, and we have a lot of different representation of people that need certain information and time to process that information before it can be rolled out. And so for us to have this is like a make or break time for us, and we're rolling out a brand new system that our city doesn't even have the money to invest in to making sure that the community knows how to properly execute this. And why it's important is because with ranked choice voting, you can't just go in there and half bubble. You can't just go in there and just scribble in the one person that you want. You have to literally do, if it's 5 choices, you have to rank 1 through 5. If you don't do that, then your vote doesn't count, to Trevor's point. So, you know, DC is a little special. I know we the nation's capital, but that don't mean we don't got problems too. And not all of our people are connecting the dots, you know?
For sure.
And that's just in general day to day.
Yeah. I mean, but if don't nobody know and you just want to put this on them, that will confuse people. So it's like we're not very educated on voting. But that's by choice though. That's by choice.
We had a low turnout anyway with the traditional way of voting. And so now you're talking about having people come in who may or may not have been engaged about what the process looks like. A lot of our seniors are not going to take the time at the ballots to explain this to our community members. So it might be Chocolate City was already pending. You know, Mickey, me and you always go back and forth about that. But at least I can still hold true to it because we still had pockets of chocolate. So it could still be true to be Chocolate City. But after this rapture, I don't know, man. I would say if anybody in the chat know a good space that I can go, and no offense, it's not Flint because I'm tired of fighting. Let me know.
Well, allegedly, if you come from out of town, you can come here and become a millionaire. Don't say I let the cat out the bag. I'm just telling you.
I gotta sleep at night. You know, there's a chance that there might be a happen.
Listen, they sent Liddell here.
Not from DC.
How did she turn out? Allegedly. But from Prince George County.
There you go. It's a difference.
I
don't know. How did that turn out for y'all? Yeah, a big difference. First of all, aesthetics.
Coretta H, good morning. Michelle Smith, aka Ann, thank you for tapping in. Look, you see what Shadi Shah. I understand, Yogi G. This place is so diabolical. It don't make a bit sense.
Man, listen, I ain't gonna hold you. I tell the Flint each and every day, each and every chance I get, especially in my organizing circles. I was like, if you really want to brainstorm on how to do some organizing and bring people together, you need to use Flint as a case study because
oh wow.
No, hey, no shade. I'm just saying.
No, I get what you're saying because I was saying in the chat where I seen they had I guess it was a fight at one of the high schools where something happened at Southwestern. But I was like, you know what I'm saying? I was looking at it. So I didn't get all of it. I'm gonna go back and through, and we're gonna get more in depth into that on later on tonight because Wendy's, I'm pretty sure she got on all the tea on that because she said, "Let them know I'm coming in tonight, my ninja." I can show you. She said, "My ninja, she coming with nothing but tea tonight."
I can't wait because I promise you, I as somebody that's outsider to what's happening in Flint, it really is something to see. And it keeps you on your toes about what to look out for as far as like when you have representation in council and stuff like that. It's unfortunate.
But this what I don't get. And I see because I'll be hearing because sometimes Anna will be calling me when Anna be at different get-togethers. I can't believe that people really in DC think Flint water is fixed. This is like, that's what I don't get. Like I'm talking about the people in Congress, like, are they that naive or do they just got a shield put up on the state of Michigan where do nothing get out about Flint? to up
I
there to
mean,
DC.
to be fair, I wouldn't. I would take the fact that people believe that the Flint water is fixed with a grain of salt when we ourselves are being polluted in our own water system here in DC too. So, like I said before, we had our own
So
electric company. So what's that, Uncle Cole? We had our own electric company who got caught dumping illegally over in one of our black areas, Anacostia
right,
area. They
right.
got our our attorney general, excuse me, sued the electric company, got $51 million from the company,
Mm,
and before the year ended, they had made over $101 billion.
wow.
And how they did that, Nick, was that they upped our rates. So what was the point of taking them to task if they were only going to make double back what they lost?
I mean, but that's big business. Good morning, the lovely Sherry Allen and tapped in, and Uncle Carl Lewis in the building. I mean, when you get to see, that's where it's like you see the politics. I'm because, like I say, I've been on Facebook. I've been, like I say, I've been peeping in on Art page. When Art talking about, they got things about kidney disease is high, if I'm not mistaken, in here now. Not we ain't just going cancer now. We worrying about kidneys going out. But I have been saying so a whole bunch of dialysis places have been popping up.
We got
Do
them
you
here too,
understand?
Nick.
It's like it's a whole nother fight. Then they talking about this 26,000 applicants that got approved to get some money, went over 100,000, allegedly got poisoned. 26, that's like 54 some thousand out of the 80 that got left out. Then you got to look at as far as your pay scale when they send 1,000 to 100,000. It's like, to me, it's like, wow. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, ain't nobody. Listen, the water's still messed up here. I don't care what they say.
But
The
that's what
water
I'm
still
saying, right?
stinks here.
And
Huh?
then I remember Brother Elliot on one of the shows talking about, how everything is about land. Like America, oldest time, it's never been about the
Oh,
people unless they were
I,
trying to exterminate them.
did you see? Let me put this up. Said, this is from my fellow 740 and shooting the shit T. What's up? Good morning,
Mhm.
beloved. She said the mayor and the governor just put their foot in their mouth because Michigan's Republican Party just cut 6.1 million from Flint because it was said that the water crisis is over. No more RX kids, etc. Bingo. Shout out to the mayor and the governor. The governor of Michigan and the mayor of Flint. Boy, when they say when it rains, it pours.
Well, I mean, I think that's why it's important to learn the history between what land grabbing means
Mm-hmm.
and what America has done historically to basically kill off communities so that they can
Mm,
move on to the next plan.
facts.
So, I'm not the professional. I'm just a ghetto scholar that loves to read. So let me just put this out there into the ether. And chat, you can tell me how you feel about it, right?
Come on
We
with it.
have a new transition in how money is being made in America, and it has a lot to do with AI and data sharing. And if
Mm,
you've seen in many cities and states, they're now talking about data centers being populated around, and they're putting them specifically in neighborhoods that they would consider to be uninhabitable or
hmm
like not worth the investment. And they're okay with people being surrounded by radiation, water quality going further down, and things like that. So, like, as if I were in Flint and I'm in DC and I have to worry about this because I told you our water's being polluted, our air quality is questionable, and
hmm
all the things that Flint are dealing with, we're dealing with here in the District of Columbia.
Wow.
The next thing that we have on our topic is our neighbors over in PG, which we call Ward 9. We got 8 wards in the District of Columbia. We call PG, where Liddell is from, Ward 9 because it's so close to DC. They're now fighting to not to try to get ahead of a data center that's being put in Landover, Maryland. And
Mm,
that's crazy because with us being so close, everything that is emitting off of this data center will surely go on over into DC. And in that area, that particular space of the data center is going to be where they're planning to put the data center is in Ward 7, which is highly black. Ward 8 is
mm.
Black. And not to mention, Trevor would remember on one of our shows, we already talked about how Ward 7 and 8 were below the flood lines. So, like, when I say dastardly and diabolical happens everywhere, you better believe it.
Now you see what Felicia Martinez said. Yogi G in plain English, they're putting them in the hood, low income, impoverished areas.
Facts.
Let me see what Deborah Luna. It went for. She talking to Felicia. I read an article that plasma is used in youth serums. Wonder who's getting the plasma medical community or cosmetic industry. Wow. What's up, No Gangs? Thank you for tapping in on this lovely, cold morning, but it's the sun is outside.
I said Uncle Cole said up here, Congresswoman Green said on 47 hot mic, we want to hurt people. 47 said that on a hot mic, man. If you think that there's a heart anywhere in this administration, you'll be sadly mistaken. They don't care.
See what Denise just said. She said Whitmer just got the seat in charge of all the governors. 28, she's going to run for president. She had plans and sold Flint out to have money for her campaign. That's from Denise Cousins. Lord have mercy. I mean, what can you really do? I mean, listen, this is big business. And to people want to, listen, they don't care who they got to step on or who got to be they stepping stone to get what they want. You think this mayor got in this, you think he took that mayor seat and not to say the water was good. He know why he got that seat. You see all the stuff he did. I'm just, going by the former mayor. And I'm just being honest. I don't know if Dr. Weaver did half this BS that he pulling. They hauled her ass down to federal court. And if I'm not mistaken, Hope Beasley, thank you for the $5 super chat. On one of them, if I'm not mistaken, I could be, correct me if I'm wrong, that the judge said this was nothing but what they call it, I can't even get the word out. A witch hunt. When the story of Flint comes out nationally again, it will, if she runs, that will be the nail in her coffin for black votes. Facts. Irma, good morning. Thank you for tapping in. And Hope Beasley, thank you. So I'm just saying, when you're seeing these people getting bought off and paid off, like, I don't think people really understood the Jordan Sheraton book, whether they want to accept what was in it. Because, you know what I'm saying, if you like the person or not. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, people didn't want to hear it. But when he said, yo, activists, yo, council people, yo, leaders would have been bought and paid off, I don't think people understand what was really being said. You can take it or leave it. But it was some truth in that.
I got a question for you, Otis. So if we know that the politicians that are representing us right now are up to no good and like saying it with their chest that they don't care about nothing but the green, what are we as people supposed to look for now as like our next representative? Like, what would make you feel comfortable about giving somebody your support in this 2026 election?
I don't know. Like you said, I'm like, it's like we finna roll the dice. Let me see. Oh crap. Because I mean, at the same time, the people who run this thing, they're gonna have their people in there too. So you're gonna have the money, like when Eric Mays was saying, watch the dark literature. Who the big money people? Well, as they said, dark literature, because you don't know who getting them the money. But when you seeing these people campaigns being paid for, a lot of people know, who got money and who ain't got no money. So whoever funding these people, you got to understand the machine is go fund these people. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get people who they know can be bought. It's just.
Go ahead, Mitt.
No, you go. I'm finished.
I was just going to make mention. I saw a recent clip, someone interviewing Jasmine Crockett, and they asked her about like her view on why some people who supported her before are now kind of like turncoating, and her answer was simple, and I didn't see where she was wrong. She said that people today are what is it? Politically illiterate, or like election, like something to that fact, that people don't do, they're lazy when it comes to politics. Like, people can give you a fish sandwich and then you'll just go ahead and vote for them, right? People not doing their due diligence, and we talk about that often here on
Facts.
A10 about vetting people, checking their records, seeing who they hanging with, where their funders coming from. It's not hard, but people
But
don't
see,
want to do it.
yeah, but would it be people don't want to tell the truth? It'd be a lot of stuff in the background that don't come to the forefront. And you're right, Common says everybody can be bought. But what it is, people be having grudges and they'll sabotage another person. Just say me and you running, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, you could be running. We got to run against each other. We might have been cool. And you might get the nod. Lanita Murray, thank you for tapping in. You might get the nod. I might get mad. Oh, why they picking Yogi G? They don't need to pick Yogi G. I'm the better candidate. And you might be the better candidate. But you'll get people just off of that get mad, will sabotage your stuff. Will sabotage it.
Well, this what money make the world go round, right?
Yeah.
Here in DC, the thing about it is we do have people who are like homegrown candidates, and they are really trying to get up there to even be considered for leadership. But the thing that stops them from being able to compete is money.
Mm-hmm.
The money stops them because it takes a lot to go into campaigns. And I hope that this lands on the ear of a lot of people who see people who are like community members that have said that they want to go out here and compete against your council members and stuff who have been in there for a while. It's going to take money. You need people. The people got to get paid in order to do it. You need literature. You need hours. Like, it takes a lot to run for these campaigns. And sometimes it's just as simple as that why we don't see the people that we want to see and need to see in office.
Yeah. I just put this up.
See, we got Sherry Allen up here. It was a Republican official that announced Flint is not getting the money because there's no longer a water crisis in Flint. The lack of funding will devastate the Flint schools. That's crazy.
But you see what they doing is like how the Democrats did with the health care. The Republicans just finna put it back. Oh, they said your governor and your mayor is saying the water was good. So you don't need to fund it. See, but they didn't understand that this game was going to be played back on their lawn. And thank you for tapping in on this lovely morning. But see, that's the game it's finna play.
Well, let me show you how in sync we are with Flint, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if anybody remember a long time ago, I was telling you, DC, even though we do have some pockets of like academic excellence, but it's uptown where the money resides. Over here on my side of town, man, they treating us like criminals and giving us the bare minimum. But because of the rhetoric that was coming from the Capitol about how DC are school to prison pipeline factories, now they're working overtime on changing the narrative. Man, you should see it. We done got like millions of dollars from the Bill Gates Foundation. These Negroes out here putting out literature. They hosting galas and everything like that. But guess what? The data says. The data says that we still have a large percentage of Black children that are graduating with a third grade reading level. The data says that we still have a 9% growth compared to a 70% growth between Black students and white students here in the District of Columbia. But yet now we got all of this literature by Black-led leadership that is telling us that DC schools are excellent. It's the best it's ever been.
Listen, this is here. When we hear our school board said they doing the work, they graduating kids reading at a 4th grade level. And thank you for the $5 super chat. But listen, but that's what's crazy about it. Listen, when Clack, excuse me, Brother Clack, talk about Michael Clack when he was the president of the Flint School Board. Do you understand? You had the vice president at that time went behind the president back and gave the superintendent renewed his contract, and didn't nobody see nothing wrong with that. Then they study telling you she be on Facebook every morning saying they doing the work, they billing all this and that. When she got called out, when I was at that meeting, when we had the Congresswoman there, when she got called out on it, she had to backtrack on what she said. When she said they was gonna have to I forgot I can't. Well, it was something about the school, put it on hold because they ain't have enough students. Y'all really think that these parents finna send their kids back to the Flint schools where your kid is not getting educated properly? They think they finna send their kids because they building this brand new school. And only ones they probably gonna want back is the athletes. Let's be honest. They ain't building that because they want to feel that football stadium. They gonna want to fill that gymnasium. Yeah, we might get some black kids up in there. Yeah, the ones who can play sports. But you think
Well,
they finna take kids they rate them?
let me ask you this, Nick. Are they talking about vouchers in y'all neck of the woods?
I don't know. Look, they saying it's a public high school for now. You know, they say a lot of stuff, but I don't know. What's up, Alan Hill in the building?
Chat. If you have not heard about it yet, you need to get familiar, okay? They're not just being biased to post-secondary. They are coming for the high school and every other experience in education, too. We have a thing populating there in D.C. about voucher programs, and that means the voucher is supposed to help to fill the gap of the money that you would need to now pay to put your kids in an educational institution, right? We have a significant amount of public school options here in the District of Columbia, but like many other places around the world, or maybe in American streets, the public schools are not always the best. They're underfunded, under-resourced, and the teachers are hella stressed. So this is where they get the balls to say that our schools are school-to-prison pipeline factories. So now we've been overrun by charters who have they're their own learning educational agency, or LEA for the acronym fanatics on the chat. And so we already had competition between public school and the support that's going into charter school. Now they're talking about shopping around, having a voucher availability, which talks to the private school entities that we have in the District of Columbia, which if you know anything about private schools, everybody can't go. And that's problematic. But a lot of people are just in a situation where they want the best for their children. Like no other, like I'm a mother, Mick's a parent, you know, like we want the best for our kids. And when you talk about having a better quality of education, some of us go right for the gusto. But the thing about it is if you start okaying education being qualified, or the quality of education being on the forefront of whether or not you've gone to the next private school, then that kind of diminishes the availability for everybody, right? And I don't remember a lot, but I think that we as Black people had problems with getting in the educational system a long time ago, and this sounds quite familiar to me. I don't know. What you think, Otis?
It's a money grab. It's just the people that we elected. I remember back in the day, you could read. You didn't hear about kids not being able to read. I'm gonna take a quote from what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. It's not a student that's failed. It's the teacher that's the fail because you didn't get the student. I'm not saying verbatim. How you gonna blame? You know what I'm saying? And I do get it because Brother Elliot is a teacher. It do supposed to be two folds, but I'm just looking at it like this. Just go back 50 years or go back 60 years. Our grandparents couldn't read, but their kids knew how to go and read. How did they know how to go and read? Because the teachers back then they knew what was at stake. You know what I'm saying? You got teachers now saying, I knew when I was coming, you can start, you understand it was starting to go down. I get paid if you get it or not. And that's what really happened. Because we can't say, okay, but what about when the parents couldn't read and they send their kids to school because they expected the teachers to make sure their kids was able to read. You see how you see how we make excuses now? But how did a generation kids their parents didn't know how to read, but yet they was educated? Because the school did their job. You had teachers who wanted to see them because they understood the situation. See, we don't have that. It was a time when Blacks, remember, you couldn't read. That was a time you couldn't educate them.
Let's see. Uncle Cole and Sherry Allen been lighting the chat up. She said Yogi G is all political strategy to keep their pockets full. They know the money is not making it to the people. They profit off the poor. And then Uncle Cole followed up with, it's called The Great Dumb Down, same rigmarole. And Sherry Allen hit back. She said, we have to remember that the school system was developed to keep kids off the streets, not to educate kids.
I was putting up Lauren and said, it's sad that the kids are failing in the system by their parents and teachers. Parents help the teacher. Parents help the teacher, hey, help you. Parents, if you can't read, get you some help helping yourself, help your child. But I'm just saying, what was it back in the day though when grandpa them couldn't or great grandpa them couldn't read, but auntie them was able to know how to read. We didn't hear nothing about, oh, it ain't my job. No, it is. This is what you signed up for. That's all I'm just saying. It's just a difference from when you hear what they saying now to back then. Do you think the teachers were saying that back in the 30s and 40s? They was probably
It
saying no. They was probably saying,
it
well, we
definitely
gotta.
takes a community.
You say
Go ahead,
what?
man.
No, you go ahead.
I
My
said
bad.
it definitely is going to take a community effort and for a lot of people to kick in and see their place in society, right? Like we're not in the times where you can just sit and point your finger like the Spider-Man meme and be like, "Who gonna do it? Who gonna do it?" And you should, you should, you should. What are you doing? What part are you playing? Here's an example, right? I like to give, if I may, of how we in our community bridge the gap between the deficit of education in the household for the adults so that they can be able to help the children that we were responsible for seeing the outcomes of in the community.
Mhm.
So when I was a PTO president, which is the parent teacher organization in DC, we named it like a lot of our parents didn't even have a high school diploma. And you're not sending books home anymore. You at that time they wasn't even sending them to a website. They was giving them a one
Mm,
pager and letting them go at it.
mm,
Um, but we was like, well, if the responsibility is supposed to be on the household to carry on the lesson plan, then what is the school doing to check whether or not the household is equipped to do that? And not to be a police officer, but to be an assistant to helping the dream come alive, right? So when we took this notion of Captain Obvious wording, right, to the board, they made an investment. They had a teacher that offered to who was licensed to be able to educate adult learners so that they can get their GED. The only investment that we asked from the family, if they were able to do it, was to make a $25 investment, and that was so that they can be able to fill out their application once they completed the months of schooling to lead up to them being able to take the test for their GED. And the board covered the rest. Within this time, each student that had a parent that participated, we had over 23 parents to participate in this program. And out of the 23, we had 22 successfully graduate with their GED. Also, while they were attaining their GED, we saw an increase in the participation in the scores of the students that were attached to these parents that took this opportunity on. So, like, I give that example often to show that outside of just hyper focusing on one space, if you start working on the whole picture, the family as a whole, you can see the results that we need to see in the outcome of our children. But a lot of people don't want to do that. That wasn't a high lift, that was a low lift. And we benefited significantly from it. But it has not been replicated in any other school system since then, which is really unfortunate.
right,
Because to your point, we dealing with some children, we dealing with adults who were once children who were just as negated as the ones before.
right. Luana Cherry, thank you for the $5 super chat. Let me see what Lorna said. Lorna said, back in the day, it's not the same today. If we're going to love back in the day, then here comes back slavery. No, no, Lorna. What I'm talking about is, and you might have misinterpreted what I was saying. What I was saying was you had parents who couldn't read back then, and they still sent their kids to school, and they was able to read. They got their education together. I mean, I don't think we really out of back in the day mentality, to be honest with you. But I'm just saying, what I'm talking about is that, like, just say parents can't read now. How are kids going to school and can't read? That's all I'm saying. I get it. The parents couldn't read back then, but the difference was what I was saying was the teachers. You had teachers who cared because they was looking at if your parent can't read, let me get you. Because a lot of times you had black teachers. Am I not mistaken in the teachers during them times? When I remember my uncle them was telling me they teachers was black when they was coming up. You forgot schools wasn't integrated during them, during some of them times, and when you did, I'm just saying, how was it when you had parents who couldn't read back then, and the teachers was able to educate the students compared to the parents who can't read. Now, and the kids can't read. Deborah Thompson, thank you for the $4.99 on the super chat. I'm just trying to figure it out. And they was working up under way harsh pressure back then. Remember, you couldn't even be educated, and you was getting educated. How was it easy for the?
I mean, well, that talks to how fragmented we are community-wise, especially in the Black spaces, right? Like,
What's up, Lane? Facts.
The 60s wasn't that long ago. I know we would like to think so, but it wasn't that long ago. So like I often sit, especially when I'm in my different classes, and be like, how did we get here? Like, how did we get so comfortable to think that America had changed so much when the 60s was not that far away?
Right.
We dropped the ball. We got a little, what my grandma say, you got too big for your britches, and now here we is.
Right.
And so then, here's the other part. It might be an unpopular opinion, Otis, and I like the chat to help straighten me out with this one right now. I know we like to talk revolutionary talk, and I think I've said this before, right? Because here's the other conversation on the table. If it's not going to happen, if liberation is not going to happen through participating in the democratic process as it stands, right? We know we were coming up short, whether it's Democrat or Republican. The next part of the conversation is people talking about liberation and burning it down. Revolutionary works. And I'm just like, yeah, revolutionary. It sounds great. It looks wonderful on a t-shirt and even on a picket sign. But do people really know what it means to be revolutionary? Do people really know what it's going to take to overhaul the United States of America? You got whole countries that's not even ready to take on the United States of America. That's why they still living in poverty and being pilferage. So when we get our revolutionaries and our liberators out here who are not even showing up to help navigate the democratic process, I'm not sure that we on the same page about the type of sacrifice that it's going to take to stand against a system that is old as time. So I just wonder, like, are people really ready to put your life on the line for the changes it's going to take? Because that's what it's going to take, in my opinion. You're going to keep getting the same rat scallions. That's an old word, rat scallions. In your politics, you still going to get played because they're going to come smile in your face, give you a bag of ice, a case of water, and tell you they love you. You still gonna go through all those things, but until you start getting some leaders, in my opinion, that are ready to say it with their chest, and the next person in the lineup, because they're gonna take you out.
I'm looking at Lorna saying you have ADHD, autism, and bipolar. Do they know how to deal with it? No, I mean, you don't think people was wigging out back in the day? They just ain't have names for them. Can you imagine the stuff they was doing to people who wasn't? They came up with the names with these, because you got some say ADHD is what, if you go by Dr. Umar Johnson, said ain't no daddy at home syndrome. Where did all this stuff start coming from? That's what we got to look at. When did we start running into these problems? Where did it come from? When did we get a society? Because listen, I worked in the school. I seen when they put kids on Ritalin and how they was. Ain't nobody learning. How you gonna teach a kid that's spaced out and you sending them to school? Come on, let's be honest. We didn't drug. It ain't, you don't even like, if your kid do it, give them some drugs. We gonna slow them down. You done created a damn near generation of dope heads of legal drugs. Let's be honest. Well, you can go to Walgreens, CVS's, Rite Aid. How you think people gonna function and you sending them to school and this stuff? Well, my uncle just say, "No, put belt to ass. That'll tighten them up." But they'd rather give a kid. Have y'all seen kids when they on these pills and stuff in school? To me, school is like babysitting now.
I still never forget when my children were in like third grade and I was spending time in their it's called their special education class, and it's basically they put them all the way up on the fourth floor and put them in the corner class and just let them wreak havoc. And I sat in there for the day, and there was this one young man who had, I think
What's
he
up,
had
Raphael?
ED, emotional disturbance, or I'm not familiar.
Yeah.
But literally, this young man, the medication that he was on was so heavy that he couldn't even keep his eyes awake in class. And the teachers didn't know what to do. When he wasn't on his medication, he would tear the classroom up. The mother, I watched myself, they called and called and called, and the mother would never answer the phone. And when he was on his medication, he, like I said, he'd sit there, he'd go to sleep. So the teachers, the only thing they did was made a little cubby hole for him. And I watched this young man go climb into this little spot that they created for him in the classroom and slept the whole day.
And they didn't give a damn about it. They looked at it like he's quiet. And that's what you get into now. You know what I'm saying? That's what they get. And that's sad, but I'm just saying they're rather facts, listen, and I can't get off into it because certain things, but they don't tell you these drugs that they giving these kids, some of them be committing suicide off of it. They're not telling you this was some
And
of
the
them
sad part is
medication would drive these kids to. They're not telling you that the chemical imbalance, what that would do. But hell, if you want a whole a country of half a country of walking zombies, keep it up. They never want to do
medicine in the prescription bottle. That's
right.
just the one in the prescription bottle. That's not even the one that's in your drinks. That's not the ones that's in your food. That's not the ones that's on your skin. That's in the lotion. Like they got us, man. When I say the long game.
What's up, Eleanor? Good morning, Eleanor. Facts.
They
not telling you about that, but you know what? A person this show you where we and we talking about here we be talking about, but this is for national. Just what I'm finna say. We talked about people saying about the water, right? How that when Winters and the mayor was in the store and people were running up shaking his hand and had carts of water in their basket, right? But this is like a person you go into Walgreens, your doctor tell you got high blood pressure or this. Instead of you rather eat right, I'll take this pill for this. And it tell you in the little fine print, well, you can take this and down the road, it's going to blow your kidneys out. But for you, instead of wanting you rather change your eating habit or cutting this off, you'll rather take this to destroy this because you want to keep eating this. It just shows you the common sense, but see, people can't see Walgreens, Rite Aids like they look at a dispensary. Oh, that's a drug spot. Take too many of them Tollies and let's see. I'm just saying, but this is the type of stuff that it just show you the confusion. Not that you would think your doctor would want you to get right now, but we want to keep you on this. But sometimes the doctors will tell you, hey, you need to cut this off. But people I gotta have my pork foot. I got to have this. So you'll rather take this, not knowing the whole time. But I'm just saying that's the psyche. So I can understand when people's running up shaking the mayor hand because that's been in their head not to understand you're being fucked. Excuse my French.
Listen, it's a sickness that's going around, and that's why I love the fact that I get to come in here on Friday and connect the dots in other spaces. Because while y'all people shaking your mayor hand with cases of water in their cart, our people shaking our mayor hand and doing pom-poms for our half of our city being taken over by a NFL team. Okay? Now we got tons of family that now just got scooted and booted. 2,265 families that got scooted and booted or what's called our rapid rehousing planning. That means you have actively families that have nowhere to live in the District of Columbia. On top of that, our affordable housing, affordable to whom? Because an efficiency in the District of Columbia could cost you $200,000 a month, and that's not even counting fees. But they sat in front of it in the media and they were shaking it. Yes, bring the commanders home and stuff like that. So now we got that on the docket, right? Now they're coming and they gave $1 billion. Our city, who told us that we didn't have money for us to be fixing the programs that the city needs, found $1 billion to give to an NFL team for a stadium. And now, Mick, they talking about, you know what you need now? You need a water park. You need a casino. And we where the people
gotta have that. They gotta have it. You gotta be finna put a new $1 billion stadium right there. We gotta give the people something to do.
And you know why people signing off on it, Mick? because they said, yeah, and it'll create job opportunities. To pay where?
Right.
We don't even have minimum. We got minimum wage, and they still debating on that. We just went from $17 being our minimum wage to now I think 22.
Wow.
But remember what I said: 200,000
Facts. If you went by cost of living,
month?
y'all minimum wage should be down at $30. Oh, 40. Like here, minimum wage was 7. What is it, 12 now? And they act like that was doing something. We gave y'all $12, but hell, the rent then went up. They didn't build some $200,000. They done built some 200,000 condos down. Who gonna be able to pay for that? You know what I'm saying? Working at McDonald's or working here. It's like the concept of people who. That's why that meeting that me and Brother Elliot went to is so important. And I know you probably be at all y'all functions, because the one lady that had the glasses on, she was a white lady. She said, "New one, good morning." She said, "This is where the movers and shakers be at. People need to be there."
You gotta, because even though it seems like it's very bleak, and I'm gonna let you finish, Mick, but even though it seems very bleak, the reason why you have to pay attention to what's going on, even if it feels hopeless and like, what do we do, is because you're giving yourself a chance to try to build something to at least not go down. I mean, listen, fight or flight, and I'm stuck on fight while I work on flight. And y'all still give me some suggestions of where I could go. Because if I ain't got to fight, I'm with it. But, you know, like, when you know better, hopefully you do better. Ideally. But, you put that one back up, Nick, about the...
Lorna.
Lorna.
Yeah, Lorna. So her grandbaby has a little autism. It does affect her learning. The only one in the class can read and spell. Hey, I remember with my daughter when we went there, it was like, there were certain ones that can recognize their name, this and that. I'm like, damn. But you do, I just think with the teachers, you had some who probably couldn't read. It took their time. You might take a little more extra time with it if you see the parent name. And I'm not saying these parents, no, I get it. They don't understand. Like my generation probably don't understand what coming up. We understood. We took school as it came. Let me be honest. Some really took it to, you know, for what it was. We didn't understand what was going on. We just heard the stories. And you probably run into racism here and there if you really wasn't running into the system, because really you stayed amongst your crew. Who you was with, you knew not to go over there. But I'm just saying, you would think, wow, look at this. Raphael Bird said, hell, Mick, minimum wage still $7 an hour here in Mississippi. Crazy. Yes, crazy. I look at this, Sherry Allen. Flint affordable housing is $1,200 rental. I'm not low income and can't afford that. That's what and you still got to pay the highest water rate in the nation. See, look at Denise. I'm on fixed income of about $1,700, rounded up. My rent has been raised from $825 to $1,216. Now plus $1,350 to the owners a month to pay $100K worth of liability to cover a townhouse I don't own. You see what I'm saying? It's like, and this they call that affordable. I'm hearing like rent just in a crib, down at $1,200 inside, and you in the hood, and then you gonna down have to pay a $300 or $400 water bill. Are you? But
listen, so if you think that's diabolical, man, let me tell you about the developer game here in the District of Columbia. Right, we have one nonprofit that has successfully got every ask that they ever put on the table from our mayor passed, and that's our federal city council. The reason that this particular nonprofit has been so successful is because, one, the person who is the head of it all is our former mayor.
Wow. He's head of the nonprofit.
Okay. Head of the nonprofit.
Diabolical. Well,
and you know what their project is doing, Nick? So they renovated our wharf. If you ever come to DC and you get to swing on the water, you could thank our former mayor, Anthony Williams, for that project. Mm-hmm. Then they redesigned our convention center. So, you know, if you ever go see the Wizards play or whatever they call it now, I don't even know. You could thank our former mayor for that project. And then they did an overhaul of Navy Yard, which is where our children are currently banned from. And the police stay up there, the National Guard are using as a liaison spot. So you can also thank our former mayor for that. So just in case you think that those people who ain't in office no more ain't still doing business, let me tell you, you better pull back the curtain because I guarantee they ain't too far from the money.
I'm looking like New One was at that meeting I was at. She sounds like some people on Flint City Council about the nonprofit. Yeah, that's the new game. They making sure they like, listen, we seen other ones did it. We know the game now. They like, we get money. That's why, like, when you see a lot of this stuff that's going down, it's like, here we go again. This just like come listen. Where we at? We at the 12th. We got 29 days, right? 29 days left in this year. In this month. Do people with like 20 some days, 20, do people understand what's really finna go down? Like these people, and just imagine, family, just think. 19, my bad. Yeah, my math off. 19 days left in this month. Do people really understand what's going to happen when that insurance kick in? They find out the premiums going up. Then they're expecting y'all to vote. Now this the crazy work. They finna expect people. They know some people finna be kicked off their insurance. They gonna expect y'all to go in there and vote to keep the madness still going. This how diabolical this stuff is. This is what's finna go down. And these people gonna be coming to y'all churches, coming making commercials. Now they families not gonna be missing no meals. Let's make that sure. These people that's coming not gonna be missing no meals. They family gonna be able to get health care. They not gonna be missing nothing. But while y'all hurting, and me included, while we suffering, they gonna tell y'all, well, we got to get the Republicans out. Just look at the move that the Republicans just said. Oh, the Democrats, which they did, your governor, which is mine too, and the mayor, oh, the Flint water is fixed. They just found the way, look, we're going to cut this money. They know the Republicans looking at, oh, we all going to play. We're going to play this game here. Well, we're going to hurt the people in Flint. And then look at the comment. Well, your governor and your mayor said the water, so y'all don't need that. You see the BS, they know the water not fixed. They know the people been out. The Republicans know the people been out here. The residents been arguing with this administration. They know this, but they don't care. Just like the Democrats looking out on this health care. Oh, we got to open it back up. The only to be back coming then in 30 days, you're going to be right back at the same spot again. But you know what they're going to tell you? Well, come November, you're going to have to make a change. So we got to wait down there 11 months to get some relief. And how many presidents did you see come in really going to change the tax code or change this and that to really help the residents? They're going to keep a lot of that shit that this president finna put in place. All they're going to do is geek us up to vote somebody else in that's going to keep some of the same stuff in here. Watch, some of these laws that's getting changed that they doing, they not finna change it. They're going to come in and listen, boy, when you say playing hot potato, that's how the Republicans and Democrats playing. And
listen,
we the potato.
When you said Medicaid, I got triggered. I think I started glitching out, right? Because here's the thing. I had DC Medicaid, right? And what that means is that I'm covered as long as I'm in the 8 corners of DC. If I step a pinky toe over in the PG and I fall out or anything other than that,
that's your ass.
That's my ass. I'm out of here.
Yeah,
I can't even if I wanted to go to Flint, I got to make sure I'm in tip-top health shape because I'm out of here. I can't get no help. They turning people out left and right. So, like, for a person who could barely afford to pay rent to live in the city that I was birthed in, who was undereducated and fighting for my life now, trying to make sure I get a post-secondary so I can at least get a job application and it's going to get me somewhere near to a space where I can even tap the letter in affordable housing. I'm just like, listen, I'm stuck on fight because anything other than that means I got to lay over and pass away. And as long as you got children that are watching you that are going to be stuck here, if you should decide that you don't want to be here no more, that's kind of cruel.
Facts.
So,
but
like,
they don't care.
Yeah. So who's going to care? If they don't care about you, when you gonna start caring about yourself? When you gonna start caring about the people that's next to you and stop trying to point fingers? Like, it's okay. Once again, this is my little sticker point. It's okay to educate people and highlight when corruption is being done. It's not okay for you just to sit there and just accept it and then just be Captain Obvious. What are you doing? Tell people about what you're doing and how you making it better. How you think we should get to change. Because I believe, like how when Kanye was talking to Sway, and Sway was asking all them questions, and Kanye simply said, How? How, Sway? How do you think that we should get back to where we need to be? That's what I'm trying to figure out. If we, that's why, for us in the city, like we asking, make sure you asking all the right questions. And we know we got this water crisis that's happening. What are the effects? Somebody, I don't know. You got to keep trying to find people who got a heart out here that's going to help you figure out what the truth is. Because the people that's in power, they're not truth tellers. Not all of them.
No, they ain't none of them. Because the bottom line is we got to keep it going. They keep acting like, see, this is where it throws me off when they're acting like this is a capitalistic country. But they always trying to put a salary cap on how much you can make. But not for the ones at the top. It's just for the ones at the bottom. This thing can't function without a poor class. See, that's what they don't want to be honest with. It don't function without a poor class. So how do you keep this thing functioning? You're going to have a poor class. See, they don't want to say that. That's why you will see certain ones, they give you that illusion. Oh, you see, Michael Jordan made it. But how many people, but just look at what they want to leave for us, sports and entertainment and drugs. Why you think they highlight these movies about people selling drugs? Just like the president, then he just said he was stopping drugs, right? But yeah, let me just say this. Say I'm looking for drugs, right? DC the hub. Why am I looking in Montana for drugs if I know DC the hub? Because Montana might got something I want. I don't care about that over here. When you hear the drug dealers say, I'm talking about the big ones that run the country, the cartels. No, America have an appetite for drugs. Hell, they set up there and listen. If you go back to Ronald Reagan, and you know that they'll write that up under national security. When you put a whole generation on crack, no problem. They'd label that up under national security. Did they redo them people out there in the Bay Area, the crack babies that they created? They wanted money to fight a war. But we'll still look up here and you got people that say Ronald Reagan was one of the greatest. I'm a Reaganite. You're a drug dealer. But with me saying that, they look at me like I'm wrong. And that was the Republican president. It ain't nothing wrong with if you went and sick drugs on a whole generation. We can do that because we'll disguise it up under national security. But what was the effect on people? Huh?
I don't know if you could say that on YouTube, but didn't they just reclassify trees or
marijuana? Yeah, but ain't that something? You made it legal, but federally it's not.
Which is tearing us up here in the District of Columbia because locally.
But you just raise taxes on it though, where they gotta pay you. Make that make sense. It's legal, but it's really not legal federally. This is the game. Just remember, it was prohibition at one time.
Oh yeah,
but they don't care.
Locked up for that because in DC, for when it comes to marijuana in DC, technically it's legal, right? But we're a federal city, so that's in the federal city. If you go outside of your quadrant, if you go outside of your doors and you decide you want to spark up, they've been shifting you off.
Lock your ass up. They just bold with it. You blow it, it's legal. But then this where the people, this where the police get tricked at, and the residents get tricked at because they're supposed to be the police can't. If you roll your window down, a cloud of smoke come out. They don't give them a reason to search. What?
Not anymore.
But it's a law. They don't supposed to do it. But you know what? Them police, they like this. How we been knowing? We can smell it. You know me. I'll probably say I can't smell it, and then you saying you smell it. I don't smell it. You see, but the games that can be played, it's like if it's legal, it's legal. That means it's like a fucking cigarette. If you're walking up and down the street, you shouldn't get messed with. But they take the money. But on the same token, this is bad. You dealing with some psychopaths. In my humble opinion, in Congress, them are psychopaths. That's just like you got certain governors want to take out slavery out the history. Why you want to take them out? But you think they be mad about that? You'll think the whole of the United States would be mad, but you got down there segment, take it out. Why you say take it out? That's just like we saw Nick, what was it, Nick Fuentes, whatever his name, racist as hell. Is what?
Mm-hmm.
No, last name. What was it? I know first name Nick. I might be saying it wrong. He got to come on and look at what this son bitch called out. Kanye, Yee's my boy. You see how they get their token Negroes? And you see Kanye, they messing with his money. Kanye, he was talking with Sway, yeah, but look how silly he is. And let's go to another one. Let's go look at the good brother 50 Cent. Now, I ain't on his level. He can come back. But look how he just did the Dame Dash story. But have you noticed? Not Dame Dash. Let me sorry about that. Diddy. You know why I couldn't? I haven't even watched the Diddy Wilson name because this ain't nothing new that nobody know. People ain't understanding, man. They can them video footage. They can slant that stuff and make you look like a horrible monster. But did you see anybody do?
I was gonna say, don't crucify me on it, but I did watch it.
I'm knocking you for it. I'm saying I'm not. I just ain't watch it because that was some stuff.
Since you brought it up, let me just say this about a perspective about watching the Diddy Files, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, the heart behind it definitely diabolical, right? Yeah. But if you listening with a thinking mind, you will hear that people are admitting to their own participate. Right. Yes, I can't get the word out. But they voluntarily was around for the mess and they supported it. And now they're going into victim mode. But then you can just hear, if you really listening to how he got there, right? He was the battery pack was put in there and people were down for the ride because he had the money. They thought he was going to be in power for a long time. And as soon as the opportunity came up, now everybody want to play victim. Now, I'm not trying to say that the things that Diddy did, are justified. I'm just saying, you gotta watch it. People play a part willingly, and now all of a sudden you want everybody to have a heart for something you played a part in. That's crazy. So I don't think that he did a disservice as much as people think. If you really listen, everybody told their truth.
But this the thing. Everybody told their truth after they got mad, but y'all all was in on it. Why y'all wasn't telling it then? Then for 50 Cent to go do it. But why you ain't did a project on Harvey Weinstein? Why we ain't got one of them? Why we ain't got one on? Because this is where it gets downright diabolical. Like Gayle King and Oprah Winfrey, y'all did the thing on R. Kelly. Why y'all ain't doing on these other pedophiles that's doing stuff? They don't look like us. Why y'all don't go do none on them? And he didn't own that. Netflix owned that. Netflix, and let's be honest, what Diddy got in trouble at? Diddy got in trouble because he said Diageo was racist about the alcohol, about his liquor. That's really what that came when they basically told him, look, boy, you make $60 million a year. That's enough for you. See, but we don't, you know what I'm saying? But this, when you playing in a world, this is the stuff that what goes down. Now, I see what you're saying, but these people knew. No, I couldn't watch it because it looked, to me, I looked at it, Raphael, I said, oh, here go 50 Cent. Basically, what he's showing you is he'll do anything for that money because maybe this will let him get in. To me, that was some sucker stuff. And you supposedly from the streets. When do, and then you trying to incriminate somebody. When do we help the police? Because what if somebody go in on you things you have done? See, you never know. Them same people that's giving you the green light to dog somebody out. Remember, Michael Jackson at one time was the darling of them people. And look how they did the propaganda. Remember, Bill Cosby was the darling of them people at one time. And look how they did him. Look at everybody. They was all the darlings at one time of them people. People keep forgetting that. One day, they was the darling. But see, you'll never think that it would, they'll do you like that. And that's what's sad. That's why I do like that clip when Mike Epps said, they give us money to shine on our own. But then if we try to front on them, you see the problems we come into. That's just my opinion on that.
Tell all this time, and we still falling for it.
Yeah. I'm looking at this new one. In the past, marijuana possession was a felony and locked up quite a few black people. Now that's legal. Felons can own dispensaries, but guess who owning them? Your government supposed to be against it, right? But they won't in on it because they know it's $1 billion business. They know what they know this is $1 billion business. But they not gonna say nothing about Hugh Hefner gonna be celebrated. I'm against all of this, but the Playboy Mansion man lifestyle was glorified by America. As a black man, you can't do the same thing. Hell no. Then Sharon Rome just told y'all not to bring him back up. Then Sharon, he just showed y'all, but we ain't learned from Tuck, Michigan State coach. He showed y'all. But the game come down to wins and losses.
But what you expect from a country that only considers you 3/5 of a human being?
Yeah.
It still goes on whether or not they feel that way about you.
Right.
What you
And then people don't be want to understand. I hate to say it though, but I'm gonna be honest with you. They hate to see black men with snow bunnies. It don't be us who hate it. It be the society that who hate it. Shit, let's be real. Let me tell you something, man. That stuff be real, but we don't want to accept that stuff be real when you can lose your job. Listen, TJ Holmes. You see what happened to him when he got with his co-worker, fired him. But did you see that with Morning with Joe when Mika Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough got married and they was working, they was co-hosts. We didn't see them lose their job. So you got to really look at what the American side. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? I know people don't want to hear. They be acting like, oh, all them old ways thinking it's over. No, it's not. I don't care what nobody say. That old thinking ain't over. Let's be honest. In my humble opinion, see, people don't understand when you listen. That
you gotta breathe.
No, because it's just when you see things, man, and you live long enough. Like my mother used to tell me, she's like, you live long enough, you start thinking different when you see how stuff is. To be honest, I'm just being honest. We done seen 3 brothers blow multi-million dollars. From Tuck and MSU blew an $80 million contract. Shannon Sharp money got blew. He helps, you know what I'm saying? And this fool yesterday just blew $30 million. And let's not forget.
They got to keep you in your place. Remember, they always like, you're getting too big for your britches, boy. And when you start messing with this, and especially like mixing it up and mangling, they don't like that. We still dealing with those people from the 1930s and stuff. Boy, they still out here. They kids still out here. Ain't nothing changed.
No, you really have to be careful. And it's sad that you got to say this when you have to be, but it's true. Like when we was talking earlier, like how we got to tell our kids, this is how you got to act when you go out to society. Them same things still mean the same when you go off into this corporate America. The same thing applies. You might don't have the leeway. I'll give you an example. What's my man name? They thought he was the shit in Hollywood. He played Batman. I ain't talking about Val Kilmer. I'm talking about the other one. He just finally got married about then at 90 years old.
Oh, George Clooney.
George Clooney. He was considered a heartthrob in Hollywood. I'm just saying, but you know what I'm saying? If you get a black man trying to run through Hollywood, they call him a bad boy. I'm just saying, look how the things get did. You got to look at it. You can't do, and it's sad, but it goes back to when you hear about the women, far as like when a woman say, well, we ain't set the thing here as far as the pay scale. I don't understand, like, when you have, like, the pay scale as far as a woman pay for different from a man pay. If we both say we on the news, I'm making $1 million, you might be making 7.5. Like that, I don't be understanding, but that's just how the game is set up. It ain't me setting it up like this, but that's just how some stuff, how it be. Even when you watch the show, as far as when you look at when it was Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless. I'm pretty sure Skip Bayless was making a little more than Shannon Sharp on the show, but they set the pay scales up like that. When you seeing like the women, some women leaving, you know what I'm saying? ESPN on pay scale. Who set the pay scales up like that? Then you seeing, to me, I get it on sports, but I'm just saying it's crazy when you can have the same teachers. It could be a male teacher. I'm just saying look who's setting the game up that we playing. That's keeping what they're gonna keep beef between different people, even with the black and the white, the poor. Even who keeping that rhetoric up?
The powers that be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That just like when you looking at neighborhoods, why I get it, but you would think if you're in the city, your whole city should be upkept, not just certain parts. You think that ain't by design?
I just watched in Newport News, Virginia, a clip of their council meeting where there was a white woman from their HOA that was near the site where Allen Iverson wants to build a new apartment complex. I think it's going to be over like 100 or something units that's going to be available. And they want to start developing resource centers to try to get more access to the surrounding communities in that space. And this particular white woman was just like, no, we don't need it. The traffic, they're going to be doing U-turns, and we already have enough traffic, the noise, the people, like every reason outside of what the real onus of what Allen Iverson is trying to do being acknowledged. She was against it. And then when she said, when they asked, just in case anybody was wondering where the rest of the people who felt like that were, she said, oh, we have a lot of seniors that can't get out of their houses, victimizing, saying, like people are struggling, they're so fragile, but we know that they don't want this. And it was a woman who was behind her. I think her name was Rhonda Young, if I'm not mistaken. And she was just saying, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, it's no way to, I didn't get to see the council, but by her own words, they have a predominantly black council. And she's like, what better time to support something like this? Because for years we have been negated. We haven't had access. Our kids need these things. Our communities need these things in order for us to even get to a space where we could be assets to our own community.
But just think about it, how
against that.
But that's what I'm saying. Just think about how they can buy your people off, though. When a lot of these black, that's why that what Dennis said was so profound when he went at them. He said, and this council is majority black. And you know who didn't look at that with the shot in the face to them? The councilwomen in the 2nd Ward, councilwomen in the 7th Ward. You know what I'm saying? They didn't look at that as like, even the councilman in the 3rd Ward. They didn't look at that. That was the slap in the face of them that don't know money go north of the Flint River. They say they doing the work because, okay, you see a building get put up. But where's that helping the residents at? I remember Brother Elliott, Brother Roberts, whether people like him or not. Like he said, do you think the majority of the Flint workers working at Lear? Most of them people probably coming from out, you know what I'm saying? So like, how are you not doing business like that? When these companies come in, you're supposed to be saying, look, half of these jobs should be for the residents of Flint. So just say you bringing in, you're going to have 3,000 jobs. At least 1,500, if not 2,000, should be residents from the city of Flint. You would think that. But I mean, I'm just saying, I'm trying to figure it out. Like, how can you get even council people that get on there that's from Flint when you know the water not good? The best thing you can get was the councilwoman that said, I wouldn't drink it without the filter. You got a mayor, and now that the Republicans did this, you know what he gonna come out? You know what they finna do damage control. I truly believe he's gonna say, well, the water the most tested. Well, you said the water is fixed. See, it's finna be no accountability right now. I can tell you that. But he gonna be expecting people to tell him, well, if you put me in office, you elect me again, I'm gonna come down here and fight for you.
Sherry Allen.
Go ahead, I'll put it
up. She said, why don't rich black people try to set up businesses, schools, and resources in the poor community? That would help our community a lot.
You know why?
Fear.
And Bill
Fear.
Cosby. Yeah, because they don't want to rock the system.
They don't want to risk it all. When you've been vacationing in the Everglades of whatever beautiful island that you now are the owner of, and you could come in and fly on your jets, and every person that you ever loved is close to you, that you wake up and put eye to eye with and say I love you, is taken care of and don't have a need in the world. And then you talk about, if now you can go back and reach back to the people that you don't know, but it's your community, and they would really benefit from that, but you have to sacrifice all of that. People start thinking about life differently.
Right.
And not to mention that other component of how America handles people who think they know it all and want to tell the truth, and they excommunicado you up out of here.
Yeah.
People not ready to stand 10 toes down and meet their maker immediately. Like, that's the other part of it. I'm not making it as an excuse, but that's the reality of what happens when you go against the grain of what America has already been doing for centuries and decades.
Yeah,
And
'cause
do we have people that are built like that anymore, or people? No. And why? Because we have been they have silenced us through convenience and consumerism.
facts.
All I
No, you're
all I
right.
need is my house and my little piece of land, and make sure everybody's straight, and I stay out the way.
No, because no, that's a fact what you're saying. Because like I say, that was my first time at that meeting that they be having at the library. And I knew when I shall be seeing you. And please remind me, because I did tell B. Marie every time it's one, I know I think it's the first of every Saturday. Please remind me, you need more people, the residents there. I feel like it need to be more residents there. Black residents need to be there. More. Because you need to see, I think our community is really don't know what's going on. Certain ones who do know, I'm saying the majority. It's some who do know, but it's like the majority don't care because they need to be there. Because now on the next one, I doubt the mayor gonna show up from what I'm about to say, but the next people they send down from Lansing, you should be able to ask them that. What are y'all? So now we got cut off 6.1 million because the water said it was good. So when the Democrats, like how Rivet came down, oh, you got to blame the Republicans. Now this is in y'all lap. So is you gonna go back and question the governor? Is you gonna go back and call the mayor out and say, well, they didn't tell the truth? That's what I'm saying. You gotta look, man. They spend big money to cover this up. If you heard about the unconcerned pastors and Melissa Mays got $100 million, they ain't get $100 million because they didn't go along with the get along. Allegedly, they got that $100 million to look the other way. Allegedly,
Nikki said, Raphael Bird said something up here for us.
I'll put it up here for you.
Yo, Mick and Yo G, check it. They shut down the schools after they got the lottery in here, the state of Mississippi. That's so those dollars don't go to those schools.
They know what they doing. Listen, these people know what they doing. That's why I do feel like our community should be at these meetings, all that coming down there. Because to be honest with you, should none of them people be able to come down here? And to me, that's like the slap in the face from the people who be throwing these so-called meetings and they speaking for the residents of Flint. It's impossible. Like I said, Melissa Mays, to me, she told the truth that day when she said them residents of that A4 thought the only people, the poor people and black people, was the only ones that were suffering. So it was like they didn't care. To me, it's like the people that's up in there, they don't act like the people are really dying around here from cancer. And now I then brought up the new thing as far as the kidneys. People act like they don't see this. So how can you have your representatives come down here and think we supposed to vote for them? You can come in and everything is everything. Like, seriously?
And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Nick, but they're not even talking about, this is the other part that they don't talk about, and we are trying to educate the community more about microplastics. And that's from the water bottles.
Facts.
That our bodies are taking in. If you put water inside of your car and you ride around with it and it swells and expands from the heat and stuff, and they're talking about the studies that are coming from the toxins that leach from the plastic that's housed in the water bottles that go into it. That's why they tell you if you got water that you're sitting in the car or anything like that and it's been exposed to the sun, throw it away.
Facts.
Don't drink it.
Right. And look,
But when
I
you talk
mean,
about a situation where you have to get water and because you scared of what's coming out of your pipes and if it stinks and things like that,
no, they do.
damned if you do, damned if you don't, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at what Lorna, and you're right. The news not even gonna report the truth because even they getting paid. They get a script they gotta go by. That's when I go back to when who was the one lady that was up here? Damn, I can't think of her name. When Winters had did that when they got rid of her, but I remember I forgot her name. The blight when she was calling her and Winters and the blight bitches. I can't think of her name. But anyway, when I remember she said that the two black anchors was like, "You're gonna come in and cause all these troubles," and it was like y'all don't see that. And these are the black anchors, man. That like that was on the news. Ronnie Dow, thank you, Ronnie Dow. And I'm like, man, it was like, you mean she was more? She had a better fight in her than y'all did. And it's crap. But see, this is the type of stuff. Thank you. I see the real case. He put that up, Ronnie Down. Now, this just show you facts, ref. Yeah, the mainstream media told what to. This is what's crazy. That you had two blacks on there was mad because she was like, oh, you're causing trouble. So they didn't care. They didn't care. Matt Franklin, if I'm not mistaken, like, would I see Matt Franklin at the barbecue? No. Would I see the other lady that's up there at the barbecue? No. But see, these are the type of people that you be seeing running around. They be in Flint at all of, where you consider you made it at. Like, to me, they mentality, like, do y'all see people is really suppressed here?
Nick, did you read that article that I sent you?
Not really, but I kind of skimmed over it. I had it up because I thought you wanted to.
We gotta say that for members only, where we talk about the big six and media. If you don't know,
I skimmed over it.
Yeah, everything is scripted. Everything's scripted. Independent media is your best source right now to get anything close to the truth. Because if you're waiting on the CNNs, the Fox 5 and stuff like that, you can be shocked. And if you haven't been catching up and you didn't see what just happened, I think what was it Netflix that bought over Warner Brothers? They eating each other. It's like a game of Pac-Man out here in the media that's happening right now. So you really gonna be sure where you getting your news from.
You know what? What you doing Saturday? We might have to put something together. I mean, do a members only. I could send a link. We probably do something Saturday. We can go through because I read some of it. I didn't read all of it. So I got some one day. Hold up, let's see. Because Saturday, because I'll probably be in the crib watching the ain't nothing coming on Saturday. All the whistle names off. I gotta wait.
I'll be in the community. I'll be in the community from 6 a.m. to about 5 p.m. in the community.
No, I ain't talking about doing it early. I was talking about something maybe like by 8 or 9 o'clock or something.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about something like 8 or 9 o'clock.
If the chat wanted, you can put a 1 in the chat and let me know. Because Saturdays are precious to me. And if ain't nobody going to show up for this members only show, I'll save it. So if you put enough ones in the chat, y'all want to know about the Big Six media, and then we'll talk to Otis about bringing that up for a members only joint.
Yeah, we can put something. I don't see that. Go 1 so far.
We got 1.
That's 1 so far. Right. That's 1. That's all we got is 1 believer. Oh, 2 believers. 2 believers.
Okay,
2 believers.
Say real KC, I appreciate you, and Felicia, you always holding us down, but 2 don't make it move.
Oh, 3.
We got
3 believers. 3 believers. 3 believers. 3 believers. 3 believers.
Media conversation. We got 3.
That's so far 3. I got to 11 o'clock to get it together. But I do because I got some stuff I want to show. Oh, that's 4 believers. I do got some stuff I want to show. Because and I know it ain't probably everybody, but 5 7 believers. 7 believers. I'm just 8 believers. Okay, they coming.
I got DC Max. I saw it. I appreciate that.
Because I'm telling you, because I do. What's up, Rapisha? I'm going to record. See y'all on the nip. Facts.
Word.
Yeah, because I definitely gonna be. I do want to come bring some of it up. Because man, I was seeing so much stuff. I was seeing so much stuff that like really just had me thinking like coming up on this new election season, like these people finna let all these people back in these churches And then I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna even lie to you. I've been watching. That's what I'm saying. Can you really take anybody from this administration? Oh, it'll be on at 6. Y'all seen when say she'll be here. Supposed to be on at 6. Y'all know I'm gonna be here at 6. I'm gonna start it up. I'm hopefully I'm gonna see what time she said she come, but she got some tea. She been hitting me. She hit me yesterday and was like, "I'm gonna be there Friday because I got this woo woo." Then she just hit me again. She said, "Let them know." She said, "Let the motherfuckers know I'm coming in with all the tea in the building." I said, that's why I was reading the text, and she said, "I said MF." I said, "All right." So I'm reading it to y'all. So that's when she put that in there, and I was like, "Damn, you really cussing like that?" So I read it out. She said she coming in. Hey, stay safe, good brother Marcus family, and prayers to you and your family, man.
For sure.
Yeah, we'll be on. Yeah, she said she coming with some tea. Y'all know she got it. I seen the video footage about the kids at Southwestern and what was going on, but I tells y'all again, look at your school board. That should tell you everything you got. You got a dysfunctional leader on the school board. That man, listen, when I was at that meeting, the school board president, she called herself throwing the previous school boards up under the bus and said this one was the all ones who was working together. Diabolical, and they wondering why the school is in hell as it is. They see all the games that the president has played, her cohorts. I remember when and that's what I'm saying. All of them cool now. Allegedly, what he did say it to Ray King said he got called a boy by Laura. She can, and then she's accepted. You know what I'm saying? Laura could get away. She can turn on that Karen move when she want to, and then she can turn back. I'm with y'all. You know what I'm saying? She can play both sides, and that's because some of the blacks that's rolling with her. I mean, she done some questionable things, but you know they kind of overlook because you know how it is. They feel, you know, she might have loaned people, some did this and that, and they feel like they owe her. You know what I'm saying? So that like I'm telling you, when you see the stuff, damn that, you know, she ain't sending none of her kids to the Flint school system, but she deserved to be on the school board. Now let that sink in. I'm just telling you, it just and she act like Laura act like she don't be. I mean, not what Laura do, and Joyce act like they not part of the BS. But now, like you said, your school now, if they did the homework, how the Flint schools is failing, it'll like see what their progression is. You would probably you know people will start crying.
Word. I see the real KC. You'll be in my neck of the woods, man. Hit me up in my inbox. You can find me on Instagram at Just the Thought Yogi G. So let me know when you come through. Bust One Post is my favorite spot. I like to go down there. We have a lot of panels and everything down there, so I'm always kicking it. Yeah, for sure. You know, listen. One thing I can say about DC is it's an educational academia spot. You know, so we get all the Don Lemons and everything like that, and they come and they hold the stuff. So like we locked in on what's going on, so we're not mistaken about what's happening. You know,
I got a conscious community there.
Out. We got a conscious community there, but we still fucking up.
Y'all. Because I was watching the ones in New York, they went off the rails. You got some of them got locked up, brother. Polite.
Yeah, they say you're so smart, you're dumb, and I'm starting to believe. It's starting to believe. But listen. Let me not pivot too much, but like I want to talk about the little media point, right? And stick to a space that like is hot. Like, I don't know about you on your timeline, but on my timeline, have you been seeing this thing called Welcome to Derry?
Welcome to where?
Welcome to Derry.
Nah. What about it?
It's the prequel to the story of It, Stephen King's It. And it's been all the rave. Everybody's been talking about it, except for Otis is part of the woods. So we're gonna bring Otis up to speed. So it's a prequel that's happening on HBO Max. This is not a promo. I'm just saying. See, real KC knows that. I listen. If you don't know, you need to get to know. But recently, they had their episode that was called "The Black Spot." I think that's what it was. And when
Mm-hmm.
I say the kind of trauma out the gate that I was exposed to, I wasn't ready. Um, and I'm bringing it up because I can appreciate the approach that they took to educate the world about a moment in time and many moments in time for Black community that we need to sit with and sit through. It was a spot called the Black Spot, and it was like an old barracks that was
Mm-hmm.
designated for the Black soldiers to be able to kind of kick it and everything like that. And so it was a Black gentleman. Sorry, spoiler alert. But it was a Black gentleman who was on trial for some missing kids in the town of Derry. And so
Mm-hmm.
the Black people went to go help him out, gave him a spot to hide. And so, the white people came and they went to go shake them down at the juke joint.
Mm-hmm.
And they found out that the Black people had guns too. They was like, oh, all right, we just gonna back up and we don't want no bloodshed or nothing like that. Next
Mm-hmm.
thing you know, Mick, all we see is fire and brimstone. And there were children in here. There were children in here. There were women in here. And like for us as Black people, we know that story oh too well, even if we haven't seen it
Right.
with our own eyes. But the fact that they played that out in this 2025, just to remind America about the egregious ways that they have
Mhm.
sought justice against our communities, I have to say
Facts.
bravo. Bravo to the team of Welcome to Dairy for keeping it real and historical facts of how America really get down. So if you haven't seen it, let me
You're gonna make
start
me
you
check
off.
it out.
You got to, man. If for nothing more, for episode 7. So
Yeah,
you'll
you're gonna
see
make
that
me.
they didn't.
But this is nothing new. They've been doing this. See, we the only ones keep thinking because we can go to Vegas, we can go to Miami's, we can eat a crab boil. Oh, you can go sit down in front row seat. You can go get you a Bentley. You can do this and that. We really think we off the plantation. Seriously,
None
they
of
think ain't no slavery. You people like, damn, we didn't know this was a sundown time. When they pulling your ass over when you was going through there, when they looking at you funny when you came certain areas. Oh, but you ain't believe that's serious.
and they
You know what
still
I'm
here.
saying?
Those
Yeah, it's
sundown
like,
towns still exist.
yeah, you got people think that's not real. You know what I'm saying? Listen, and then I use this as the water crisis. You know, they had to, and this was came from Melissa May. She told me, she said they used me because she was the face, her being white, it could get more national attention. Damn that you can be you black and you got poison. You couldn't use that for get sympathy. You see what I'm saying? But we don't see it as like that. You know what I'm saying? You see a predominantly black city that's still struggling. And what's crazy is like the people, the ones in here, act like they don't understand it. But I do feel like eventually they're gonna fix it up, but it's just not gonna be for poor people.
Nah, no more than I believe that this stadium and casino and water park is going to be something that we ever going to enjoy up here in DC. I'll be somewhere on, I don't even know, because they won't even let you just live in a little piece of land in the tent around this joint. You can't even go in the backwoods of the park and set up shop without them scooting you out. So I don't know where I would be.
But God, you made it home, Pastor. You sure you
Whoa.
wouldn't speed? Just messing with you. I mean, but this is the stuff that you have to put up with. You know what I'm saying? Just like what we seen when them football players with the police in that situation at the football game. This ain't nothing new. This is just that it got caught. See, that's the problem. They mad because they getting caught. Don't you know they wish they can take cameras away? You done seen people like this would get me. They act like when the this that was that was just one incident that happened. You be thinking the police ain't been stealing, they ain't been doing this. Oh, that was just that's the reason you can get them. Police can be corrupted because the system is corrupted. They keep forgetting what they got started from. They was the slave patrol. They keep forgetting that. They forgot that you can go whoop a nigga ass and wouldn't nothing happen to you. They forgot that. Now it's just you can't do it like you got to be a little more civilized. Let's take you around the corner and beat the brakes off of you.
I don't
That's why they
know.
still
This
be having problems.
administration, this administration might like it.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean that's the problem. But what you get when you hear, oh, we need more police. What they saying, we need more police around you, Negroes. That's who you really want to be that's really who they want to be the police around. But you ain't gonna over police these areas over here. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? What it said, Alan said, casinos is a parasite to any community. It's never positive. Casinos is an economic burden. But they don't see it that way.
I wish you could tell the people around here that, because I fear that a lot of our seniors, our senior citizens who love those kind of spots are gonna be like, bring it, which is unfair because they probably won't even be. I'm not God and I ain't trying to shorten their life, but I don't even think that by the time they build one stone on this stadium, half of them people who are in our senior community that say that they want it, they're gonna be here to see it with their own eyes.
They don't care about that. That's what look at the St. John's here back in Flint. That area no longer. Look at Lake. What's the Lake Lanier down in Georgia? Flooded it on top of people. They said the civil rights. This from shooting the shit tea. The civil rights movement was only 57 years ago. Not our ancestors, our parents and grandparents. Yeah, people don't understand. But see, they act like that's a long time. They want that out the books. That's how mad they is right now. Take it out. Why? You don't want to show what y'all did? Like they want that history gone. But you know what they not going to erase? American history. They take that little, they're going to say, well, slavery was just a part. You had one general, well, that's how it was back then. You're like, what? That's why when you see when Strom Thurmond, his birthday party, you had your President Biden at that time celebrating him. Didn't care he was a staunch racist because a lot of them were staunch racist. They just hate. That's what I hate when racists be. Why you got to point out that I'm racist? Like they get mad if you point out how they is. Like I never seen nobody like that. Do you see gangbangers getting mad because you point out I'm a gangbanger? They stand on 10. They throw they set up and wear everything. You get the racist. I'm not racist. Well, I have a black friend.
It's a new terminology that somebody just made me aware of. It's called black fatigue. And it's not what you think it would be. It's black fatigue in the white community. And I was just like, what? What do you mean? Tell me more. So apparently they are fatigued at us accusing them or reminding them of where they came from. And so now they're saying that they are fatigued by this conversation and they don't agree with it. And I was just like, isn't that?
Black listen, that's like when the governor allegedly came out. She said she was Flint fatigue. That's like a kid. What you mean black fatigue? You don't think we fatigue y'all asses what y'all been getting away with? Like we really gotta go see. We gotta go back. You want to go back through the history books again? We can just go back 3 years. Sandra Bland. We can go. You want to go. You want to go what happened with my man that the police officer just killed him? You want to go with Tamir Rice? You want to go with where you want to start at? You know what I'm saying? It's just like you getting mad because we showing who you is. I know when Michael Jackson made that song, Look at the Man in the Mirror, they were like, God damn it. You know what I'm saying? That Michael's.
Every day. Listen, another one that just thought about right before we go. So remember a long time ago when our mayor was getting all this press coverage for graffiti, being a graffiti artist and spray painting or painting Black Lives Matter on the plaza. And the old Rumpsy Trumpsy came back. He was like, "God, get that out of here." So now, just as of yesterday, I believe, we had one of our senators to put a bill on the floor to now rename that same area to, can you take a guess, Mick?
Come on with it.
It's a big point. It's a big point in history that they really want to, capitalize on, and they want to remember this moment.
Trump's birthday.
No.
What is it?
Charlie Kirk Way.
If that ain't a slap in the fucking face there. When they come in ballistic.
Way. And they dead serious about it.
They ain't gonna get it passed. I wonder, is that gonna be that's what I'm saying. Do you think just think when they got General Lee them up, different these Confederate flags up. Just think about they got them soldiers up and all this. That was some racist. But that's just like how they throw Abraham. Abraham was real. He freed the slave. You better go back and do the check on it and see how he was talking to Frederick Douglass. But this is the stuff they do. I'm a Reaganite. Man, Reagan sat up there and made a whole generation of dope heads. But they ain't see nothing wrong with that. When nothing wrong with that. No, you don't care when you was hearing crack was so addictive when you seen the women were selling their babies. They didn't care about that. They don't care about the what's the name. But hell, anytime you got the jail system got lobbyists. Ain't that some shit? They went to Congress. Why are not y'all feeding the system to us? We just created 600 beds. We can't fill that up. Do you think they really want to help people if they study building jails? Because they looking like you gonna put us out of business. Yeah, but that's how you think the Indians feel when they celebrating Thanksgiving. You don't think that's a slap in the face? See, that's what I'm saying. But that's the slap in the face. They don't care. You got people don't want to say that he had that Charlie Kirk when using no racist rhetoric. Because he can name, Candace Owens, my friend. I wonder how Candace Owens liking Charlie Kirk's wife now. Since they just bombed on her.
The streets are saying hated it. They had
the way she went at her. Hey, facts, Miss Lorraine Thompson said, an abuser always fatigued when getting called out. You ain't lying. But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. They throw these people or George Washington racist. But they can't. But you can't say it. They're trying to tell you. My thing is, so what y'all want? Y'all go do your history and you'll go see what a friend we got. Can't sit up here. You go to name and they go Reagan racist. After that racist, you can go look at all their policies. Just think about it. The crack epidemic, they lock them up. The meth epidemic, we need to give them drug places to go to. I'm just telling you, all you do is look at it. When meth, I'm saying crack, when there's the crack lock them up, they are savages. Did you hear Hillary Clinton refer to anybody? Just look how they refer to us and compare it to how they refer to them.
You should have known we was in trouble when they made corporations equal to human beings.
That shit. And they try to tell you, no, you're not. We wrote a bill to say you're not. But see, that's the image they want us to be like. Just because 2 + 2 says it's 4, it's really not. That's the game they'll play on us. Look at the people who framed it. Them were racist. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Them were racist who wrote that. So, and you go look at it. When you point out where they were saying these people are savages, why would they put savages in there? They overlook all of that. They overlook that.
They even wrote a song about it.
Yeah.
If you watch Pocahontas, they give you a nice little 1-2 step on the song Savages. Barely even human. I remember that when I learned that song when I was a kid.
That's what I'm saying. You go look at it. That's what I'm saying. People be riding down. They want you to go back and look at the plantation. Well, I want to go look at somewhere where people was being treated inhuman. The fuck like that. I really want to see that part. That's like even when you watching them slavery movies. To me, that'd be like a kick in the face. That 12 years of slavery where they can kidnap you and put you in some stuff. You ain't seeing your family. All right, but they don't see nothing wrong with that.
That was a mean piece of work, man.
Right. But they want that out the history books to show you that we were really savages. They don't tell you about the sex slaves plantation. They forget that part. The breeding plantations. Yeah, they forgot about that. Forgot what you set up. Like they act like what went down on this thing called Building America. Look at all the free labor that you had, that people made billions of dollars. Look at all of that. And you think they're gonna let you mess this thing up that they got going on? That's why you can see at Kanye West, they let him know. Why you think they want that shit digital now? Because we can push a button, you can't get into your account. He having problems right now getting access to money. That's just like me and my cousin was talking this morning about it when these people say they got an accountant. Oh, I can't go in my money. Why you can't go in your own money, but this accountant can go in your money? And you read about all these athletes, how their accountant and lawyers, their financial advisors beat them out of money. How can If I got $7 million in the bank account, why I need you to tell me how much I can pull out? I'm just saying, think about it. You're still a kid. They still treating you. That's why these agents still getting money. Why these NBA players, these sports athletes, you be hearing about how they financial advisor beat them out of millions. The agents beat them out of money. Did you think Michael Jordan needed an agent? He needed David Falk to go tell him, hey, I need $50 million for this year. It's Michael Jordan. When you saw Juwan Howard and Ray Allen just went and got a lawyer, and I think it was Johnny Cochran at that time, just looked over their contract and he charged them whatever. They didn't have to give up no millions of fucking dollars for you to go look over a contract. You think Jordan needed an agent to say, hey, motherfucker, I'm hitting 50-some points. I need $20 million. Or give me $50 million or I'm walking. But see, what they would do, they don't want people to be woke up like that. Well, you don't need them because you putting them no talented son of a bitches out of a job. That's what you know what I'm saying? These is people you can be put. Why you think with Maverick Carter when LeBron, now you got to have a college degree to be an agent. They don't want nobody you going to put our people out of jobs. This is how we make our money. I'm just saying. It's a game. It's set up. They make creative jobs for people. That's just like with homelessness, poverty. You think California spent $26 billion, and you mean to tell me they couldn't help to get people out of poverty? When you spend $26 billion? I'm just saying. All this money they getting, you would think, none of these people I seen this morning when I was leaving the gym, coming out, walking out, because they getting put out they got to get out the centers where they sleeping at the shelter. Getting out, then they got to make it to the warming centers. Ain't like the warming center right there. You still got to do some walking. No transportation to get people to transport them to the warming centers.
Well, it seems we have reached.
It have. That's why I'm gonna let you take us home.
Word. Man. Good people. It is now 11:02 in the a.m. in my neck of the woods. And I say to you, while these conversations are not easy to have and they may be very traumatizing and triggering, I hope that one thing remains true while you're listening is that you find a way to find your space to be better than what we're telling you the world is doing right now. And don't forget that today is still $5 Friday, good people. And we need to make sure that we can still come up here and give you the news that maybe you can use, or at least it can be a great hot topic starter kit for the circles that you're sitting in. So if you don't do it while you're here on the morning recall, make sure you tap back in with Mick and Lady Winters for the nightly nip. And send your $5 Friday love donation there, or Cash App always works anytime you should find that moment to share that $5 blessing. Other than that, go ahead, Mick.
No, go ahead. I was going to say, because Santa Claus ain't coming down the chimney, but A10 coming on your TV.
Man, that part, I don't know him. I ain't never seen him. But if I did, he better come with billions of dollars and no strings attached.
You are Santa Claus. Remember that. You are the Santa Claus to your kids.
Nah, man. I'm a rat just trying to find scraps and trying to just making it stay out the way out this joint while they trying to trap me and lock me out. And on that note, I'd like to say always thank you, Otis, for giving me an opportunity to come up off the Chitlin circuit. It's always a great time to come and Freestyle Friday with the good people of the A10 News Media Chat. And please be great and see y'all on Sunday morning with Brother Elliot at 9 a.m., right? 9 a.m., 9-ish. Right.
No, we usually be on time.
Word. Okay. Well, I appreciate that because I'll be in class, locked and loaded in chat. You can find me there. And then you can check out me and Anna, hopefully, if things don't happen and change at 7 for Just a Thought. So other than that, y'all, be great, be well, and peace.
Peace, because them damn, I was going to say the Redskins, them Commanders ain't winning shit. Anna can show up.